Welcome to the intro. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello guys, D-Man here, doing a little bit of a different video today. Today is going to be an anime video, and it's going to be about My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero, I think it's called in Japan. This video is going to be about what I think are the best quirks to put with One for All. So, to put these quirks together, let's just say we're going to have Mizuki Midoriya and someone else have his child. And that child is going to have both his parents' quirks, so One for All and whatever quirk is the one who gives it to him, obviously. And whatever quirk is the one like he's mating with. Yeah, that's it. So it's like the baby's gonna happen. It's gonna be Mizuki Midoriya and somebody else, and it's gonna be the top 10, my personal top 10 from the anime and the manga, and also 3 extra from different media. I'm not going to mention the media yet until we get there, but it can be from any media, by the way. It doesn't have to be from manga or comic books or anime or movies. It could be from anything. So let's get started. But first, I want to say a few things. This is not about shipping. First off, this is not about shipping. I don't really care about the shipping in the My Hero Academia thing. There's only been one ship I ever cared about, and that's Beast Boy and Raven. Forever, obviously, because that's the best ship you can ever have. Other than that, I've never really cared about shipping that much. Not to say that I don't see certain characters together cute, but not too much. Second thing, I won't remember all their names, because I'm a forgetful guy. And third thing, there are characters in the manga that I did not go look up again because I didn't want to. So there are probably characters that are better suited to have One for All with their quirk, because as All Might said, when One for All is given to someone with a quirk, it like boosts that quirk 100% pretty much. So there are some characters that are in the manga, or probably in the anime too, that I forgot about or I skipped over. And remember, these are my top 10 like quirks to put together in a child to have an ultimate quirk baby. As we're gonna call it, the quirk baby, the ultimate quirk baby. It's gonna start from least favorite to my favorite one, and of course this can change if I go look through those quirks again, or if I don't go look at those quirks again. This can change depending on if there's more people introduced with better quirks and stuff. Like, there's one girl that I know has a pretty cool quirk, but I don't know what her quirk is. She's in Class B, I think, and she has, like, a ghost quirk. But we never get elaborate on that. It never gets elaborated on, I guess, would be the saying. But she has, like, a ghost quirk or something, which sounds cool. But we never get, like, an elaboration on that, so that's why I don't choose her. And there's a lot of characters like that we hear their quirks, but we never get, like, elaborations on them. We just like, oh, they have, like, this quirk and it does something like this, or they don't. Sometimes we don't even get what it does. But anyways, this is going to start with 10, my least to my favorite quirk baby. So this is all about Midoriya. If somehow he could impregnate a lady and give his baby the quirk. I'm guessing he can do that, right? If he can, like, give people his quirk anyways. And also, the person that he impregnates also has his quirk. And yes, some dudes are going to be in here. Let's just assume there's a quirk that allows dudes to have other dudes' babies. I don't know. And a doctor has it, so he's like, Midoriya, you want to have this guy's baby? Okay. Or this guy, you want to have Midoriya's baby? Okay. Maybe there's a doctor that does that allows boys to have babies from other boys. Don't know. But anyways, let's start it off. I've been rambling on for 4 minutes, or 5 minutes actually. We're going to start off with Midoriya and Sue the frog girl, as I like to call her. And a lot of people think that they're a good couple, but again, this isn't about ships. And she's my last pick because her quirk is good, but not as good as my other ones. So let's start off with her because One for All allows you to jump a far distance. In one of the intros of the show, we see All Might pretty much jump like a town or a city, like a quarter of a city or so. And we're going to assume that One for All allows you to jump like a quarter of a city or maybe half a city. I don't know how much it will allow you to jump, but it will allow you to jump pretty damn far. But we know that frogs, the frog quirk can also allow you to jump pretty far. Not as far as One for All, obviously, but pretty far. So if you were to join these together, you have a far jumping frog quirk with One for All. I'm pretty sure you could probably clear a whole city with that. That'd be pretty awesome, wouldn't that? Just one jump and you clear a whole city. And plus, the sticking to walls aspect, that's pretty awesome just in general. And the tongue aspect is also something I wanted to touch on. Could you imagine getting hit with a tongue that had One for All in it? It'd be like being punched by a train, but with a tongue. And plus, you could grab someone and throw them really far, too. That's hilarious. Okay, so next one is Rock Guy with red hair, or Metal Guy, whichever one you prefer. I don't know which one. I forgot their names. But anyways, this quirk would be good for One for All because All Might got into a fight, got himself hurt to the point where he almost died. But if he had the rock quirk with him, he could have protected his whole body when he was fighting that guy. So not only would you have incredible like power, you just have like this impervious body that can't get hurt. And plus, One for All like increases any quirk it comes into contact with. So your quirk, your body would just be as hard as like pretty much impenetrable. So that'd be pretty cool, huh? That's why I say these two quirks would work together so well. Like you'd be able to kick people's asses with power, but then no one would be able to kick your ass because you have like this impenetrable skin. Second is Shadow, or Bird Guy, as I like to call him. Or not second, I mean 8th. Sorry. But 8th is Shadow. I just thought he'd be a good character to have One for All. Or their baby would be a good character to have One for All. Because if he had the Shadow quirk and One for All, I'm wondering if One for All could transfer to the Shadow, you know? Because the Shadow can extend way farther than the Bird Guy can. So if that Shadow had One for All, it'd be pretty OP. It's already pretty OP, but with One for All, it'd be super OP. Just saying, that'd be a pretty cool damn quirk. Okay. Next off, at number 7, that's all I have to say about the Shadow, by the way. It'd just be a really overpowered quirk. Just the Shadow having One for All and just beating the fuck out of people would be hilarious. So at number 7, we have Bakugo and Midoriya. Bakugo. Kachan. We have him with his explosion quirk, and Midoriya with his One for All quirk. And I think this would be awesome because One for All increases, quirks 100%. So his explosion quirk would be super, super powerful, and plus he could run super fast and have super punches, which would be awesome. So this child would have like giant explosions and really powerful attacks. He'd basically be the OPest motherfucker ever. Although there is one that would be more OP, and that would be number 6 entry, which is Totoro, sorry, I almost forgot his name. Totoro and One for All, or their baby, Bakugo, not Bakugo, Midoriya's and Totoro's baby. Again, the doctor made it possible with the quirk to make boys have babies. So Totoro and Midoriya's baby would have the Fire Ice quirk plus One for All, and we know that obviously One for All increases your quirks 100%. So this would be just a badass thing. Like, he could probably burn down a whole entire city with one hand movement, or freeze the whole entire city if he wanted to. And plus, he would have all the normal one-for-all stats, like super speed, super strength, super everything. Plus, his flames and ice would be super as well. So he could, like, freeze the whole city, burn the whole city. It'd just be OP as fuck. And with the Bakugo one, he could probably blow up a whole city, but, like, freezing and burning the whole city is a lot better than blowing up a whole city. I'm just saying, it'd be awesome, because he could just, like, freeze every criminal in the area, almost instantaneously, because his quirk is so powerful. What leads us to number 5, and this is a spoiler, by the way. This guy is from the manga, and he is, I think his name is Mario? I think that's what they call him. But I'm not super sure. But his ability is to phase through, like, materials like thick walls or the floor or whatever he wants to phase through, he can phase through and then come back out. Basically a ripoff of Kitty Pryde. And not as powerful, by the way, because Kitty Pryde can phase people and objects through things, but we've only seen this guy phase himself and his clothes. So I don't know if he can phase people through objects, but Kitty Pryde can. I think the thing that Kitty Pryde did, the one thing that she did, like, super phase, she, like, phased a giant bullet so it didn't hit the earth, and then she got fused to it because it was too giant. It was a weird comic book. Whatever. This guy can phase through things, and I thought that'd be awesome with One for All, because imagine that child phasing through whatever he wants, getting into the bad guy's lair and just beating the fuck out of them with One for All. Like, less damage. That's all I have to say. All the property damage and all the city damage way lessened by this ability, because not only can he phase through shit, he can phase, like, attack can phase through him, and he can just, like, totally less damage because he just phased through it and then just One for Alls and just boom, 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 everything's gone. And it'll probably, like, increase his power, so maybe he can start phasing people and stuff, too. Okay, so number 4. The next one is number 4, and it is, I don't know his name, but I'm just going to call him the Black Mist. I think that's what they call him, right? Or Shadow Teleporter Guy. Black Mist, let's just call him that. So this guy has the power to teleport people. And also, like, consume everything with a black mist, almost. Hence the name Black Mist. So he can consume people with black mist and also teleport people. And he also has a body because we've seen him pick up objects and also wear a suit in his day-to-day life. And I thought this would be awesome to have One for All in, because he has a large range of teleportation. But if he had One for All, his range would be super pumped. He could probably teleport someone to the moon if he wanted to. And also, his black mist would probably expand throughout that whole entire building, so no one could fucking see a thing, and he could just teleport everybody wherever the fuck he wants. And I'm talking about the rescue center, by the way. Like the rescue center where they were training. If he had One for All when that happened, he could just, like, go throughout that whole building, this black mist, and just teleport all the heroes wherever the fuck he wants, because his power would be super O-fucking-P. And think of this, he also has a body, so when you're in that black mist, like, he could just run up to you and punch the fuck out of you with One for All, and you just be dead. Just straight up dead, because he's just like, boom, I punched you, you're dead, bitch. That's awesome. That's like an awesome quirk to have. Just a super powered teleportation plus the black mist. And he's hitting that black mist with One for All strength and speed. So, holy shit, would that be awesome. Let's just say the next evil villain's location would probably be on the fucking moon. Or probably not, because there's no air up there. I'm just saying, that quirk with One for All combined would be fucking amazing. Okay, so let's move on to number 3, and one of my more favorite picks, excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. But anyways, number 3, one of my more favorite picks. I forgot this guy's name. I'm just going to call him Multiple Man because I forgot his name. He's not talked about much, but he is a hero, and he can ectoplasm multiples of himself. And these clones of himself can fight, and once they're defeated, they turn back into, like, goo, or ectoplasm, I guess. And he can also ectoplasm a giant clone of himself, which makes me think he could probably ectoplasm smaller clones of himself, which would be hilarious. And could you imagine that with One For All? Even if these clones didn't get 100% of One For All, and they only got like 5%, 5% is still pretty strong. We see Midoriya with 5% of One For All, so if all these clones only had 5% of One For All, they'd be fairly fast and fairly goddamn strong. Just by himself, he's pretty OP. You know, he can make a bunch of clones, and those clones can just fight a bunch of people. With One For All, it would increase that amount of clones, and plus, those clones would probably have a percentage of One For All, so they could just fight people with One For All and just kick ass. This one would even be more awesomer than the teleporting one, because it would just be a total win for this guy. He'd just, like, make thousands of clones, and each one of those clones would have a percentage of One For All, or maybe a full percentage of One For All. Who knows how much percentage of One For All those clones would have. Even if it's only 5, that's a pretty goddamn strong punch and shit, you know? When Midoriya punches with only 5, he clears smoke, motherfucker. That's, like, in his fight against All Might, when he punched him, that smoke behind him just went cleared, man. So could you imagine that? Like, 100 people with that kind of strength is coming at you? That'd just be the awesomest thing. If this guy, Midoriya and this guy's child had his power and Midoriya's power, like One For All and its clone thing, he could just make a bunch of clones that are super fucking strong and basically protect the whole city by himself if he wanted to. Protect, like, a whole goddamn city just by himself and just be like, oh, a bunch of villains, let me just use some clones to go out there and kick his ass. Because they would have One For All, too. And plus, his cloning ability would be ramped up 100% again. Which leads us into our number 2 and number 1 pick. First, our number 2, I like to call this the cheat mode. The most cheatiest cheat mode you could have of superpowers. And that is Invisible Girl. I forgot her name, because I'm not going to go look it up either. But Invisible Girl and Midoriya, if they were to have a kid and it would have the invisibility quirk plus One For All, that would be the cheatiest motherfucking quirk ever. Invisibility by itself is pretty damn good. It's stealthy. You could, like, handcuff people, as we saw in the tribulations in, like, the last last few episodes in season 2. So it's very stealthy. You could, like, handcuff people, steal stuff if you wanted to. I guess you might have to shove it up your ass though if it's too big. Because you have to keep it where people can't see it, obviously. But it's, like, stealthy as shit, you know? But with One For All, this would be the cheatiest move ever. Because could you imagine an invisible person with One For All? Like, that person would just walk up to you and all of a sudden you go fucking flying because they punch you. And they would have One For All, so you'd be able to stop them and they just go flying. And plus, it can ramp up the invisibility, which doesn't even make sense. So maybe she'd even be, like, maybe they would even be invisible to, like, heat sensors and stuff. That'd be pretty cool, right? Like, I'm sure she can get, like, protected by, like, heat sensors and stuff. Or sentry-type quirks. But if One For All, like, ramps up the quirk 100%, maybe she wouldn't be able to get detected at all. That'd be cool. Or their child, I guess, not she. So their child might not be able to get detected at all because of One For All. That's why I call this a super cheaty One For All quirk, because an invisible person with One For All, that's a fucking instant win, pretty much. Like, a normal person with One For All, that's a fight. Invisible person, that's an instant win. That's just like someone using hacks in a video game and going like, I'm not invisible, but I totally am. And I have the strength of 1,000 men. Okay, which leads us to number one. And all these are my personal opinion, by the way. You can have your own personal opinion. And obviously my personal opinion will change over time if I see more characters like in season 3. Maybe season 4, if there's a season 4, who knows. But in season 3, if I see better characters, I might be like, okay, this is better. Or if I go look at the manga again and I see better characters in that, I'll be like, okay, that was better than this one. But this one I like the most, just because of personal preferences, I guess. And it is the smart girl. I forgot her name too. I'm just gonna call her the smart girl. But if she and Midoriya had a kid, could you imagine? Because I'm pretty sure her quirk gave her more intelligence, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just run with that. Like, her quirk gave her more intelligence, like made her be able to make gadgets and stuff. So could you imagine someone was one for all and super intelligence? Because she probably has like super intelligence, but with one for all, it increases that by like 100%. So it'd be super duper intelligence. So could you imagine one for all with super intelligence? That'd be an instant win for any situation, because he'd be the smartest fucker in the world. And also, he had one for all, so he'd be fast, strong, and smart. Plus, he could probably make gadgets just like his mama, you know? So he could like soup himself up with like armor and shit that makes one for all super powerful. Which would be awesome. Although I can see a downside to this character, because a lot of smart people, like if you were super smart, he might turn into an evil villain. And he might actually be able to run the world, because he might actually defeat everybody, which would be hilarious. But I just think this would be one of the awesomest combinations ever. Like, one for all with super genius intelligence. Pretty much a win-win-win, because he could like soup up himself, soup up other people, and he's super strong, so he doesn't even need to soup up himself, you know? It'd be like those Sherlock Holmes movies where he like calculates where to punch the guy and stuff. He'd be like, I'll punch you here, then you go flying to that, and then that thing will go flying over there. It'd be super awesome to see that. Just super intelligence with one for all. Just an awesome combination right there. Okay, so that's my number one pick in all of My Hero Academia, with Midoriya as the centerpiece or one for all. And then the people I want him to mate with to the number one pick, and that is it. So now let's move on to the 3 other ones. The ones that are outside of this. And this was a hard decision, because there's a lot of comic books and movies and cartoons and books in general and manga and anime. And also, I gotta take a second. Sorry about that brief interruption. Someone called me. But anyways, as I was saying, there's a lot of other sources of superheroes or superpowered people that I could have picked from. But I picked these 3 just because of reasons. First off is Jake the dog from Adventure Time, because I just like his stretchy ability, and he's just awesome. Could you, like, just one for all and the stretchy ability would just look super awesome, you know? Just this stretchy ability where he can, like, stretch himself to incredible lengths. And plus, he has, like, these, like, hidden alien powers, too, so we don't know about those yet. Or we do sort of know about those, but it never really came up in the show. But could you imagine just a super stretchy one-for-all user that could turn himself big or small and just stretch his arm way far out? That would just be hilariously funny and awesome, because it'd just be this super stretchy guy that can shrink himself, grow himself, stretch his arms, stretch himself into any way possible, with the power of one for all. So it'd be hilarious. And plus, it would super ramp his stretchiness, which would be awesome. Second one is Wolverine, because he has a healing factor and also claws, and plus maybe we can get adamantium bones in there sometime, so no more breaking bones ever. The claws just themselves are enough to do it, but the healing factor, again, it's like the rock guy, but even better, because no matter how much times he gets hit, he just heals from it, because Wolverine can heal from his skeleton pretty much. So even if he gets incinerated, he'll come back to life, because as long as his skeleton's there, he'll come back to life. And Wolverine at one point did come back from a speck of blood, so that was pretty cool. So that's just pretty cool all in itself. That's why I picked Wolverine. I guess you could also say Deadpool for this, but I picked Wolverine because he also has claws. And plus he has super healing, you know? So basically, if One For All was Wolverine, and plus One For All would super ramp his super healing, so he would even have super duper healing, which would be awesome. And my third and final pick would be the Incredible Hulk, because the Incredible Hulk is super strong. He's even strong enough to destroy a world if he goes to World Breaker Hulk. And he also has super healing. But with One For All, he'd be super strong. World Breaker Hulk will be also super strong, but super duper fucking strong. He'd basically be a fucking god. If you imagine World Breaker Hulk was One For All, god status right there. He'd be able to kill godly type entities with one freaking swing of his fist. Because the Hulk in World Breaker status can destroy a world with one punch, step on the ground and create earth shakes. But with One For All, he could probably destroy it with one flick of a finger. Just one flick of a finger and the whole entire world would just disappear. Probably turn to dust. Because One For All would super ramp his already super powerful abilities. And that would be super fucking awesome. That's why I'd love to see the Hulk with One For All. Or the Hulk and Midoriya's baby. If they had like a Hulk One For All baby. That'd be awesome. And plus the super healing too. That's super cool. Those are my last three. I'm sorry I didn't spend too much time on them. I'm running out of memory space on my phone, and I had to cut it short. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. As always, my friends, stay sane. Peace. And the Hulk with One For All, like World Breaker Hulk, holy shit, that'd be God Hulk. God Hulk. Hey guys, just reminding you to like this video, leave a comment if you want to, and share it if you want to as well. Click the circle to subscribe, or click the square to watch the next video. Or actually the rectangle because it's not a square. But remember my friends, stay sane.